and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you guys are. Welcome to the Commercial Coffee Series. I'm Ritu Rani. I'm your commercial chair. I've got my coffee this morning, or actually my tea as usual. We've got a really exciting webinar today with some really good speakers. And normally, after I thank Amy for her leadership and Hope for, running the organization, and Jazz for always doing such a great job in the background. We usually do a conversation with just me and one other person about commercial real estate, but we thought it would be interesting this time to have Kurt Nishimura, who is our past commercial chair and our incoming president for ARIA National 2023 with me. Hi, Kurt. Good morning. Good afternoon. We thought it would be great to have both of us on here interviewing two speakers that have amazing softwares that really help commercial agents succeed. So we're going to get to that in just a second. We're just waiting for some more people to join. Hey, Keith. Good morning. Hi, Alicia. Jazz, can you pan on on us? Great. So everyone can see who we are. So I'm just going to introduce everyone. We're going to get started. I'm Ritu Rani. I'm your commercial chair. Kurt, I already introduced Kurt. Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning.
We've got Lucy Burt from CompStak. Good morning, Lucy.
Morning, everyone.
And Greg Horde from Catylist.
Morning.
Great. Well, I want to get started today and, have both Lucy and Greg speak about the softwares that they have, CompStak and Catylist, and how it helps commercial agents. But I wanted to start with just a conversation with Kurt about what's happening in commercial real estate and the commercial real estate trends just now that we're halfway into the year, and just really what's going on right now. Kurt, would you like me to start? And
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I pulled up something by Chase, and they're very big partners and supporters. And we see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel with commercial real estate and stuff starting to move, because unlike our residential counterparts, it's been a little bit sluggish. So the first thing is resiliency in rent payments. The eviction rate has been, there's been a moratorium, but people have been paying their rents for the most part, and the rent growth, is turning positive, is what industry data is showing. Kurt, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
I think it really depends on a market by market basis. I'm very fortunate to be in a very strong market. So multifamily is doing extremely well here. So I think you really have to look at it market to market.
Right. I agree with you. In Florida, we're doing really well as well. And Kurt, for those of you who don't know, he's in Phoenix in Arizona. So the next thing the article brings up is multifamily moves, that at the beginning of the pandemic, there were a lot of people moving out of the expensive cities and moving into more affordable cities, or being able to work from anywhere. And that growth rate is going to continue to keep going up. So there are a lot of different factors, but as cities open, there are tenants that appear to be going back, and that really has to do with this hybrid work model that's coming about. The rental, the lease market has been crushed, but it's coming back up. And what I see, just from my own industry knowledge, is that it's really the warehouse space that's going up more than anything else. Their rents are surging. I saw in the Real Deal 13%, over last year. So that's really big news in that space. Kurt, anything to add to that one?
No, it's correct. One of the other things that is that as companies are moving to this hybrid model, and some of them had strictly allowed people to work from home, we're seeing some, where people were trying to live in other cities that weren't exactly suburban cities, but really, a good 1 hour flight away. And
Right.
when they went to their HR departments and trying to get the loan approved on a residence to purchase on a second home, those suddenly were not getting approved. And the employer had no idea that what the employee was trying to do. And now that they're in this hybrid model where they're expecting them to be in the office 2 to 3 weeks, 2 times, per week,
Yeah.
being an hour away is not going to work. So we're seeing some fallout in some purchases of second homes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, just as far as like the office leasing space, I feel like there is more movement going on because people are downsizing from their bigger offices and then they're leasing smaller offices. So there is movement in that space. But, again, with all this e-commerce boom because of the pandemic, I think that's also fueling into industrial and industrial leases really taking the lion's share of the growth in that space. Okay, well, if there isn't anything else, I want to talk about just the opportunities that are ahead of us. There's a lot of refinancing that's been going on. There are these new built-to-suit projects that this article talks about. And portfolio expansion for a lot of Class A retail spaces. They may be worth it, like that and hotels that have kind of been quiet for the most part. So a lot of exciting stuff going on. But as a commercial realtor, in order to take advantage of all of this, you need to have the right tools, which is where our friends Greg and Lucy come in. A lot of our member base, a lot of you are residential agents and you're looking to get into commercial, and Kurt and I are always here to help as a resource. But some of these tools can be very, very costly. And the big one is CoStar, that Kurt, you and I agree is like the Bible of commercial real estate as far as going and getting information, whatever it is, that's usually the first place that commercial realtors go. The only issue is that it's extremely expensive and it doesn't always have the data and the most up-to-date data, and it definitely doesn't have the rental information. But I feel like there are other services like Reonomy and other ones that I use, that I've been using, that tend to have cleaner data. But I know from working now with Lucy on CompStak and speaking with Greg on Catylist, it seems like there are a lot of other softwares out there that can really help, that are a lot more affordable and economical, and can really help, either the commercial practitioner who's on their own, who has to purchase their own softwares that their company isn't giving it to them. Alternative means. And, in my opinion, some of the stuff that both of these companies offer is even better than the data that you would get from CoStar. So with that, I would like to have Greg talk a little bit about Catylist and, what Catylist does and how your software works.
Hey, appreciate the opportunity to talk to you all, folks. About commercial real estate, I'm very passionate about. I've been a retail broker out of Chicago for over 25 plus years, and it's all about, as Ritu said, about tools. I work for a very large company. We developed grocery anchored, Target anchored centers throughout the Chicagoland area. I broke off from that major firm and was on my own for 20 plus years. And it's all about the tools. And it's kind of like, I, as a commercial broker, how could I be effective trying to sell a residential house if I didn't have access to the MLS? I think that same thing holds true in the commercial arena. You need the tools. And there's CoStar, there's LoopNet, there's Brevitas, there's Reonomy, there's CompStak. There's a bunch of solutions out there, but there's really only two platforms that are what we call research driven, and that's CoStar and Catylist. What I mean by research, that is all availabilities. Who's behind the LLC that owns that building? When did that sell? What did it sell for? So the differences between all those, Corexy is a great marketing platform. LoopNet is a great marketing platform. CoStar is the gold standard. They've been around since the mid 80s. LoopNet is a gold standard in terms of marketing. They came about in 1995, I believe. So those are great sources, but the problem is retail, as mentioned, they're year contracts and they're very, very expensive. So Catylist has been around since 2001. We were recently acquired by Moody's in January this past year. And what Moody's wants to do is we're disrupting the commercial arena. So anybody that wants to compete or play in what I call that commercial sandbox, you may have a tool because we have no contract. It's month to month and it's at a fraction of the cost of the alternative. So I'd like to show you some what's different about Catylist. So let me share my screen.
That would be great. Thanks, Greg.
So you can see my screen right now, Catylist?
Yes, we can see your screen.
So what's interesting about Catylist is when you subscribe to Catylist, there's no contract, it's month to month, cancel at any time, but you have access not only, as Kurt does in Phoenix, to the Phoenix market, but in the entire country that we cover. So currently right now, we're in 50 plus markets nationwide. We partner with over 70 associations throughout the country. So if you're a commercial broker in Minneapolis, you're probably a member of MinCar, in Denver, DemCar. So we've got 70 associations that we partner with. I have 20,000 folks that use our system. There's two ways we go about this. Research driven, we're in 18 markets. Phoenix is research driven. I can show you which markets are research driven. And then over 70 markets or 50 markets are cooperating with, we are the commercial MLS for that given market. And I'll give you a list of those. So our partners down in Louisiana, Denver, here's a list of all the associations. As you can see, it's across the country from Alabama to Wisconsin to Canada to Illinois to Maine. So all these are associations. So if you're a member of the association in Dayton, you can go and search for, this is the Dayton Realtors site, search for commercial, and it will take you, this is all Catylist data. We have another platform called Commercial Exchange, which shows all the listings of our members. So this is what the associations see if you're a member of any of those associations. These are the research markets that we're in. We're launching another 10 markets in the next 6 months. By the end of this year, we're launching a number of 10 markets, and I'll show you those in a second. We also partner with EDCs. This is Longmont, just north of Denver. They use Catylist information. If you go to the EDC, Economic Development Council, and search for properties, this is all Catylist data, all the parcels, all the property types. Brokers, we partner with the brokers. So if you go to this company, WW Rentals, and want to search their availabilities, we power their site with all Catylist data. So this is all the Catylist data on the broker site. And then when I go to, I'm going to sign in, or you know what, I'm going to show you. So let me sign in to, now can you see I'm at Harper, CCIM?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we not only bundle in the research platform, but we also offer broadcasting. And I think this is great. There's pretty too much areas. Either you're representing landlords or you're representing buyers and tenants. We bundle in a broadcast system. So Matt is a broker, retail broker in Phoenix. He can send a listing broadcast. So it's going to pull up all of Matt's current listings. If he wants to blast out a particular property, he can choose which suite. He can say, okay, I want to do this floor. Oh, include a flyer. Next. He can modify the title, do next. And it's going to create a broadcast with his logo, with all the information. And this is what it would look like in your inbox. You can download the flyer. And if you have any interest, you're going to click on and go to Matt. So that's all included in this. Now, also, we include a dashboard. So when Matt goes up here, these are the broadcasts that Matt has sent over in the past. I mean, what's 7-Eleven just last week? I went to in Phoenix, 1,954 people, 20% open rate. We maintain all the email addresses. He doesn't have to worry about it. He can look at traffic. There's a leads dashboard. So in the last 30 days, these are 800 views. It shows where the views are coming from, which states. Also, Matt can look at who's opened it. Did they share it with a client? So it shows exactly viewed on Commercial Exchange. Matt can also, with one click, share this listing and post it as LinkedIn profile. So it's very powerful. But what happens if Matt has a needs or want? Everybody that Matt talks to, he's looking at, hey, Kurt, what are you looking to buy? What are you looking to sell? If he's has a client that's looking to purchase something, it's a sale, pick the particular type, put in the location. He may be looking for Denver, something in Los Angeles, something in St. Louis. You can do one email blast and it will go out to those markets. So very, very simple, very powerful. So let me share one other thing. So I'm back into my screen. And I'm going to sign in, log in. So this is our platform. Once again, I'm not going to mess up Matt's, this is mine, but I've saved some searches. As I said, what's beautiful about Catylist is if I want to look for office space in Los Angeles, I don't have to sign out of anything. These are all the filters. So I'm looking for CBD district in LA. I'm looking for lease, office, parameters, size of square footage. Now, if I want, I can expand that. And this is 5,000 to 10,000 square feet. And it's going to dynamically shift. And there's the availabilities. And I can click on any of these. If I can zoom in, it's going to zoom in on the area. Now, I'm looking for office space between 5,000 and 7,000 square feet or 10,000. It's going to highlight it in bright orange or red, but every commercial property in this market is already identified. If I want to click over to that particular parcel, I can click it and it's going to show me all that information on that. When I go back to this one, I can do full page and it's complete information on the property. Here's all the listings, the history tab, and he's withdrawn from sale contacts. Also, not only when you get all the real estate information from Catylist, but our sister company is Reese. So you get access to all the Reese data for the LA market or the sub-market. That's typically about a 45-page property or report. And Reese has been around for 40 years, complete analytics, historical, best in class. So also reports, I can go up to the reports here. If you want to know where all the fries are in the market, I can plot them, generate a report, and we also integrate with Google Earth. So that's going to plot all these either by name or by category. And that's in every market that you're looking for. Dunkin' Donuts, generate a report, and it's generating a Google Earth file. So this gives you an incredible tool. I'm going to show you this real quick. And I want to can you see my globe?
Yes.
Okay, so I did, if I want to see where all the health clubs are, I've already done this, Mountainside. And I did this, as I said, it took about 15 seconds in Catylist. This pulls all the Catylist information. There's all the Planet Fitness and there's all the EOSs.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That is
But
really
also,
neat.
This is cool. With one click, I'm going to pull all the information out of Catylist. And this shows 4 sites that I want to submit to my client. This is site number 1. There's a Catylist report customized to a DPR broker. And then I also have this clicked on here. This is a site analysis. So it pull all these logos. Here's all the retailers within this trade area. It pulls all that information out of Catylist. It's pulling traffic counts. It also has a site right here. There's that information on that. So not only do you get the research data, but you get the integration with Google Earth, you get a broadcast system and demographics, 1-3-5 mile radius, 1 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute drive times, traffic counts in the entire United States. So it's really, really robust. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
So in terms of, Greg, so if you sign up for the software, you get this software, you get access to Reese. Is there anything else?
So you also have access to the Moody's, all the research and Moody's reports that they put out in white papers. So this completely gives you the tool to compete and show up in any commercial real estate transaction and have the credibility. We buy all these sales comps nationally from First American Title, and then we have a research team, true ownership team that's drilling into who owns that behind the LLC. So this is a very robust, very, very robust, flexible, and I think it would be your go-to tool for presentations, custom reporting. And as I said, the beauty of it, it's a fraction of the cost. I've got the okay. Anybody that is interested that would like to take a look and use our platform, if you go through me, I'll give you the discounted rate. In Phoenix, it's a $90 rate. If Kurt gets it, he's a member of one of the associations, he gets it for a $70 rate. So for any ARIA member, we'll give you that discounted rate of $70, no contract, month to month, access to all the markets, cancel at any time. And
that's an amazing rate. Thank you so much, Greg. That's, one of the things, like, we have a lot of partnerships with people. We have our, ICSC discounted membership. There are a whole bunch of these commercial coffees we've done, announcing these type of discounts if you are an ARIA member. So to get that discount without having to be part of any other association, I think is huge. Kurt, I know you've played around a little bit more in the software than I have. Do you have any questions for Greg?
I don't really have many questions, but I really compliment Greg on the product that they have there. The relationship that Catylist has since they've been bought out by Moody's really is a powerful partnership. It really adds legitimacy to what you're able to offer. I know that Greg and I had actually met earlier. He had worked for a competitor to the elephant in the room, what happens, unfortunately, is they have such a large market share that a lot of times they end up going into lawsuits and bleeding competitors dry, unfortunately. But in this case, with the partnership that you have, I think you're basically here to stay. You offer some great tools here at a great price. The fact that you don't have to sign a long-term contract is amazing. For those people that are trying to get back into commercial real estate that might have went into residential during 10 years ago because of the financial collapse that we had, I think this is a perfect product for you because it's affordable. There's no long-term contract, and I said it is a great product.
Yeah, I agree. I want to get to, sorry, Greg, did you want to say something? I wanted to get to some of the questions.
One thing Kurt mentioned, I was with, I launched Phoenix for Excelgent. Excelgent was owned majority stake by LoopNet. When CoStar bought the LoopNet, Federal Trade Commission made them spin it off because they made the industry wanted to have an alternative. And then CoStar sued Xceligent, put them out of business in 2017. And that's when Moody's, all their clientele, they've been around for 100 years. Their clientele said, the industry needs an alternative. And we bought in 2017, I believe it was, Moody's bought a minority stake in CompStak. So they're kind of a sister company. Moody's in 2018 bought Reese. So Moody's is using Catylist as the way to capture granular information in every market. So right now we're in, as I said, 50 plus markets. In the next year and a half, we need to be in 275 MSAs in 7,700 submarkets, West Coast to East Coast. So that's what's incredible and exciting.
Great. I want to answer, Stephanie had a question. She says she's a commercial broker and a new member of ARIA in Orlando. Welcome, Stephanie. How can you get more involved in expanding your network? We do have these commercial coffees, and, we do from time to time do online networking events. Come to the conference, the national conference, but I think once COVID is done, it will be, much better once you meet some other members. And I can introduce you to a lot of the commercial brokers in Orlando or wherever else you want to expand your business. So, you can always reach out to me or to Kurt as past commercial chair, if you need any help with that. And Audra, she has a question about the difference between LoopNet and Catylist. So, Greg, can you answer?
Great question. So LoopNet, as I said, is a gold standard for marketing. Everybody's up in arms because LoopNet requires you to sign a 12-month contract. If you're one broker and you've got one listing, I think the price is $99 per listing that will put on LoopNet. If you've got a number of slots, larger firms are buying maybe 20 slots and they're maybe paying $65 for each slot. But the challenge with that, and LoopNet is great. It used to be years ago, they would put any broker could put any listing in LoopNet. It wouldn't actually be an actual listing, but now the content is great. Nobody can equal LoopNet. What we do is we're going to, as an added benefit, Kurt, any listing that you have and you're a subscriber to Catylist, we'll push your listings, all of them, to a free platform called Commercial Exchange. The only content in Commercial Exchange are those exclusive listings by Catylist subscribers. LoopNet has the only listings on LoopNet are those people that are paying either the $99 per listing or has all their listings on it. So, but LoopNet is a gold standard, as is CoStar. It's very expensive.
Thank you so much, Greg. Lucy, I want to get to you and talk a little bit about CompStak because, what Greg's data is fantastic, but there are currently, as far as I know, no really good options on the leasing comps. And Lucy was actually introduced to us by Ken Pierce, who's an ARIA member, past president of Orlando. So, I was very happy to learn about this. So Lucy, please tell us a little bit more about CompStak. And, this service is actually free for real estate brokers, but this was our big announcement and our promotion. And Greg so graciously is also giving a discount, but, Lucy is going to do, something else because it is a free service only for commercial brokers, but not for bankers or title companies. They actually need to pay for it. But if you're a broker, you do get this for free. Lucy, take it away. Tell us a little bit about CompStak and what it does.
Definitely appreciate that, Ritu, and really just want to say I'm really excited to be here. I think this is a great topic, as has already been mentioned multiple times. There are numerous tools on the market, and I think, frankly, commercial real estate professionals are just a little overwhelmed with them, all the options out there, and tend to just go to the one extremely expensive mammoth because that's what's most widely known. Ritu, as you so eloquently said, the Bible, as it was known by. But really, there are so many other options out there and better options. So really excited to dive a little bit more into CompStak and just discuss how your member base can utilize us alongside some of the tools that they're already using, or even as a replacement for some of the tools that they're paying for currently. So gonna go ahead and share my screen with everyone. All right. Well, There we go. Let me minimize everyone really quick so this doesn't get in there. All right, wonderful. So first and foremost, what is CompStak? Why are you guys interested in it and why are you going to use it? So really in a nutshell, we are a commercial real estate data company. As Greg was just so nicely going through that, listings and all that is really the primary piece of Catylist. Our bread and butter are lease and sales comps. And so a little background into how the company started and the reasoning behind it. Started by a broker who really was just fed up with the way to access comp data. Was going to the one mammoth in the market, sometimes finding the data he needed, but a lot of times finding very inaccurate data that wasn't helpful. And then the other, option for him was going to his network. Again, the same story, that sometimes finding helpful data, but a lot of times the individuals in his network weren't working in the same property type, didn't have the same tenant type. So really not able to offer information that was useful to him. So he said, all this information is being traded in the background, right? Why don't we take this trading process, put it online, and keep it free? So we really did that with the mission of data transparency, with the idea of that being that anyone in the commercial realm can have access to this data. It's not just the mammoths of the JLLs, the CBs, those major companies that have money to spend on these data resources. Anyone can access this, the mom and pops, the independent appraisers and brokers out there, even the individuals that are just getting started in commercial real estate and don't necessarily have that network yet. CompStak is a resource where you can go get that data that you can utilize for the deals that you're starting to do. So really, just to emphasize, at our core, CompStak provides nationwide commercial real estate insight through our verified commercial lease comps, sales comps, and property details. So Ritu, as you had alluded to earlier, there are two sides to the platform. The first side being Exchange, which is entirely free for any brokers, appraisers, or researchers because it works as a barter system. You are able to trade the comps that you have. You earn credits for trading those comps, and then you can utilize those credits to unlock other comps that other brokers, appraisers, and researchers have traded on the platform. So we have over 30,000 brokers and appraisers trading over 2.6 million commercial lease and sales comps on the platform today. The other side of the platform is what we call Enterprise, and that is a paid subscription model where banks, REITs, developers, landlords are able to pay a price to access the data that is being traded on the other side. So let me go to this next slide. All right, so just to reiterate, all the data on our platform is coming directly from brokers, appraisers, and researchers. We are never gathering deals from listings. We do not host listings on our platform. So these deals are coming directly from the individuals involved in them. So we are able to really gather some of that granular data and data that's hard to get for you guys. Here's just a visual of the ecosystem that goes with the trading piece of the platform. So a user submits a comp, the comps convert into credits. You're then able to use those credits to unlock other comps on the platform. Every comp that we receive goes through a multi-step verification process. So the first step of that being our proprietary computer algorithm, which takes into consideration multiple factors. One being, are you a brand new user? Are you a user that's been with us for multiple years? And then taking into consideration, what's the space type, comparing it to other comps in our system, really searching for anomalies and red flags. If there are any of those outliers, it is then sent to our data analyst review team who hand combs through these comps, really trying to figure out what was this outlier? Why was this there a red flag? Was it a typo? Really trying to find the answer so we can ensure this is reliable data on our platform and have you guys be able to access it. And then last but not least is our community regulation. In our primary markets, we receive comps on an average of 3 times. So let's say you send in a comp, maybe you fudged up the numbers a little bit, something was a little inaccurate. It's very likely we're going to receive that comp again that has the accurate details, and be able to really see the difference there and ensure that we're getting the right information on the platform. We process over 60,000 transactions per month. So right here is just an example of some of the comps that we've actually received. So we take comps in any format, send them to us in Excel, PDF, Word document, you name it, we can get it uploaded and get that data on the platform. We are nationwide. So we are in over 100 markets, over 1,000 submarkets, and over 12,000 cities. So huge value add for you there that, let's say you're really owning a market right now, but looking to dip your toes in some other waters, cross state lines, still, entirely free for you to be able to jump into another market and be able to see what is going on over there. So from here, I'm going to jump into just a quick overview of the platform. All right, so when you log into CompStak, this is the initial screen that you'll see. And so this is really our dashboard insights. And in the sake of time and just being cognizant of that, I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but just want to relay that really this allows you to have some high level insights into a particular market. Extremely helpful. As I was just saying, if you're maybe trying to jump into a new market, really understand the lay of the land and don't have a network there, this lease insights page will give you some of those helpful insights for you. But let's go ahead and jump into the bread and butter of the platform. So just clicking into our leases tab, this is where you can begin your search for lease comps. So I want to point out first, as I had mentioned, we are nationwide. So just clicking down on this drop-down menu is where you would be able to jump into the particular market. I know we have individuals joining from all over. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the DC market that we're on right now and begin kind of showing you how the filtering works. So go ahead, we can jump into a particular submarket. Let's say we're going to go ahead and let's just do the DC CBD area. Say that 3 times fast. And then go down into more filters. And this is where you can get very granular with your search. Let's say, what's the space type we're looking for? One piece to emphasize there, we do highlight all space types. So office, land, retail, industrial, all the above. So we'll click office for CBD. Continuing to go down, let's say we want to plug in a certain square footage. We can go 5,000 to 8,000 right there. Let's say we only want to see deals that have been done in the past year. So we can just click year there. Myriad of options that you can throw on here. Is there a certain starting rent that you're trying to search for? Is there a specific industry that you would like to highlight? You can plug in as many filters as fit the criteria that you're looking for. I do want to pause and point out one specific search feature that I think would be very helpful to this member base is searching by expiration date. So you can plug in, let's find leases expiring in the next 8 to 12 months. Plug in that date range right here, and you will then be able to see all the leases expiring in that date range, and you'll be provided a list of tenants. So that gives you an immediate canvassing and prospecting list for you to go say, hey, these guys, they're going to be needing some new space soon. Maybe I can help them out. So just one feature to keep in mind for you there. Once you plug in all the information over here, that's when you can go to refine. And that is going to pull up all the lease comps that meet the criteria that you just laid out. So a few fields that you were able to see, just note right here before you unlock the comp. But then as you continue to scroll over, you'll see all these column headers have padlocks under them. And so those are the fields that need to be unlocked with the credits. And I will jump much deeper into that here in just a second. But let's go ahead and we can click into one of these comps right here. Again, you'll see these padlocks are still showing. You do a double check. This is the address. This is the tenant. Go ahead and unlock the comp. And now all those fields that were previously locked off are available to you. You can easily export this comp to send over to a client, export it to Excel, export it to PDF. Our PDF functionality is very customizable, so you can add your logo, any notes or anything like that. You can export multiple comps at one time as well. So just keep that in mind for exporting reports. I will not dive too deep into our sales tab just in the sake of time, but just want to point out it does work identically to our leases tab that you can just plug and play and filter all the criteria you're looking for. a very helpful feature on the platform is this My CompStak tab. So if you go into My Comps, this will serve as your internal database. So any comps that you add to the platform, as well as any comps that you unlock on our platform, will always live in here. So definitely just an awesome feature to have your own internal library that you can have as your organization. Anytime you do a deal, you can just send it to us immediately. It will be put in here and really serve as your tracking system.
That's great. Lucy, I want, just in the interest of time, can you please explain to the members, like, this is like what they're getting? So this is another benefit of being an ARIA member. You said the service is free,
Yes.
but you're going one step further for our membership base. So can you explain that to everyone and how to sign up for it if they're interested in getting it?
Absolutely. And so about to jump into that piece. So through our relationship with ARIA, we are excited to offer everyone 300 credits upon initial sign up. And so really what that means, just as you saw me unlock that comp, that utilizes credits. And so traditionally, you need to share comps with us as soon as you sign up in order to receive credits. But due to this special partnership, we are excited to offer everyone those immediate credits for you to get on here, begin exploring and finding some of the comps you need. So Ritu, I believe you mentioned you may be able to throw this in the chat, and we'll also include it in a follow-up email, but there is a specific link that will be sent to you guys that you can click. It will prompt you to fill out your information. When you put in your first and last name, when you put in the last name, please include a comma after and your ARIA designation. That way we know how to add the free credits to your account. And that is for the exchange side. So if you would fall on the enterprise side, my email address will be included in there. Please feel free to shoot me an email and I will get you set up with the corresponding market owner that can help you out there.
Okay, that's great. Jazz, can you put in the chat that snippet that Lucy sent to us that we're going to have, living on, we'll be on the ARIA national page where we store all of the media library. But if you could just put it in the chat and, Lucy, while we have you on, can you just announce, like, or is the URL really long or?
It is a
okay.
little long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so
maybe you can just,
just
if someone's replaying this later, give your email out right now for people.
Absolutely. And I can go ahead and put that in the chat.
And, Greg as well, if you can put your email in. So, the other offer that you're giving the ARIA members, that they can call you directly or reach out to you to get the discounted rate. Thank you, Lucy. It's Lucy at CompStak.com, CompStak.com. And then I see Jazz. Thank you so much for posting the link for everyone on how to get the credits. Kurt, did you see another question in there that you want to? Did you ask another question?
Lucy actually answered it in the presentation as far as for, I think, enterprise users, they actually have to pay for a subscription, but it's free for brokers.
Right.
And then do you ask the person on each side of the transaction to confirm the comp? Or is it, if one person reports the information, do you only one person get the credit for that comp that's put on your system?
So technically we do try to incentivize everyone to send us the deals as quickly as possible. So, once the deal is done and you send it to us, if that first person that sent it, they earn the credits, everyone else will only receive one credit. I will say we offer a bit of flexibility there because we know everyone has put their blood, sweat, and tears into getting these deals done. So if you were an individual that was involved in the deal and the deal is already on the platform, we will definitely help you out. We're in the interest of letting, wanting people to use this platform. We're not going to, keep you guys off of it by not allowing you to get those credits for the deal you did. In addition to submitting a deal that you did, know that you are able to share any deals that come across your desk. They do not have to be a deal that you did on your own. Absolutely. And so I know ran through that very quickly, but also know, please, in that with that email address, we can do a more one-on-one demo of the platform and really dig in deeper into the credit system and how all of that works as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Lucy. And Greg, we don't see your face, but thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, you're there. Great. A little bit more about Catylist, and to all our ARIA members, you know, it's just another benefit of your membership, and we're going to continue to try and give you all the best information and educate you as best as we can here at National to help you grow your businesses. So thank you all. And thanks, Kurt, for helping moderate